Okay, I'm going to show you how to properly feed my leopard gecko. So what you need when you come up is a plastic bag, paper towels, thieves cleaner, and then his mealworms, which are in the fridge. You'll come over to the closet and he'll be sitting right here, and you'll just unplug the cord that runs underneath his cage. Just unplug it from this extension and then bring his cage over here, set it right there, and you're gonna plug it into the wall right there. When I just did it, the heat pad actually fell off the bottom, so you just gotta be careful that adhesive is getting a little bit less sticky. So I had to re-stick it on there, but it might fall off again, I'm not sure. So now what you want to do is come over here, and in this box there's going to be some things you need. So you're going to grab this, you're going to grab this feeding dish, and then his water spritzer and his calcium powder. Okay, I'm doing this with one hand, so take 2 trips to get it. But you're just gonna bring that stuff over here, and when you're dealing with him, try not to be too loud. You don't want to scare him. Okay, so then grab this, and then once you do that, you will want to go ahead and you're gonna start wanting to get his worms. So in order to do that, you're gonna take these and you're just gonna open this up, and you're gonna grab the worms with the tongs, put them in the bag. I would recommend doing about 12 to 15 worms in the bag. So you just literally just grab them out of there. Make sure they're good ones. Sometimes they'll be dead and they'll get like darker. Make sure they're good and they're moving around a little bit when you grab them. I mean, the longer they're out of the fridge, the more they'll start moving around, but just make sure they look good and alive. So grab 12 to 15, put them in a baggie, and then give it a nice little sprinkle of calcium dust in there. Seal it up, shake it up good, and then dump them out into this feeding dish. I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so now once you've dusted the worms and put them in the feeding dish, you can free up some space by taking this powder and then this, because you won't be needing it anymore, and you can put it back in the box because you're going to need a little bit of space. And now once you've done that, you're ready to pretty much go ahead and feed him. I would go ahead and wash your hands right now before you start getting in his cage, just in case, like if you happen to touch him or something, just have your hands washed and then wash them after, obviously. So what you want to do is open it up, and as you can see, he's in under his rock right now. That's where you want him. You don't want to feed him out of the other thing. So if he's in the blue one, you're gonna have to pick it up a little bit and just kind of like tilt it and get him to go into his rock. Eventually he will if you just keep kind of tilting it. Be careful when you're putting your hand in here, because he's gonna be ready to eat. You just take that out, and you can put that over here. And then you also want to reach in and grab the water dish, and again, just be careful, because obviously he's ready to eat. So then feeding dish, you're gonna put it in. Be careful, get the tongs, grab a worm, and he's looking at my hand, so I have to be careful here that he doesn't go for my hand. And then you put the worm in, he'll see it, and he'll eat it, just like that. Now after he bites down, be careful when you're putting your hand in. Sometimes you'll scare him if you go too fast. So just feed him one at a time until he will not take any more, like until you put it in front of his face and he just doesn't want it. He'll start walking around. That's when you know he's done. And so I'm gonna finish feeding him, and then I'll be back when I'm done. Okay, so I just finished feeding him. He ate 13 out of the 14 that I had. So then I just dump the other one back in there along with most of the powder, because I think the mealworms eat that as well. So once you're done, you want to take this hide, the one that has this leftover paper towel in it, right here, and first actually you want to go ahead and take out your cleaner and your paper towels, because this bag is going to be for your trash. So you can take this old paper towel out. It's just going to be, I just use water, so it's just going to be kind of dried up. You just put it in there, and then what you want to do is, see, this is what I'm talking about. You don't have a lot of space, and I'm using one hand. So this thing that you got from the box over there, you can set that down here if you need to, just to make some space. And you're actually not going to be using this anymore, so you can put it back. So you're going to take this and this, as well as this water dish. Grab your cleaner. You do a little bit in each one, and then take your paper towels and just wipe those down completely. And then after that, I'll do that real quick. So I would go ahead and wipe it down now while I'm doing it as well. So once you're done, take the paper towel, you can throw that away, and then you're gonna wanna come over here and grab 2 paper towels and leave them connected like this. Just leave 2 paper towels connected, and you want to go ahead and fold them long ways and then fold them short ways as well, and you'll have it look like this. And you just wanna seal the edge like this, and put the sealed edge like this, okay? And just press it down in there so that it looks like that. So just like that is perfect. Then you take the lid, put it back on, just like this, okay? And then you can take your spritzer, and you just pretty much want to spray all in there. That's what she said, but yeah, just spray all in there, and on the top a little bit too, so that there's moisture, and get it nice and moist in there. And he'll be just sitting here or walking around. Just make sure he doesn't climb up on top of the rock and get up here. So then next step is you want to go ahead, and I'm going to be quiet, but you have to take the rock off of him. So you want to have one hand on top of the hide, and then put your thumb like right here against the paper towel so that it doesn't stick. So I'll do that real quick. So just like this, okay? And there might be a little bit of poop on the side. Set that down upside down, and he'll just be in here. Next step is, you can take this time if you want to pet him or whatever, just be super gentle. Remember, the later in the day that you do this, the darker it is, the more active he's gonna be. He's gonna be running around. He might be a little bit more cautious and scared, a little bit more skittish. So the earlier and lighter it is in the room, the better. So you can pet him right now if you want, and once you're done petting him, you go ahead and put this inside. Just like that, okay? So you wanna put it in there and kind of get him to go in there. And as soon as he starts doing that, grab this. And the goal is to get his whole entire body in there. So this can take a couple tries, because if he's being a pain and he's not going all the way in, or if he's coming out too quick, it's not gonna work. So again, get him to go in there, and then you want to take this and put it underneath, okay? So just put this, the one he's in, put it inside of this one, okay? That will seal off the door so that he can't get out. So if you need to touch his tail a little bit to get him to go in there all the way, make sure you don't close his tail in. Just like that, okay? So now there's two and the door is sealed up by the other one. So you can take him over here, just set him there for a second, come back, grab the dirty paper towels, throw those away. You want to wipe down his cage, wipe down the inside of this, all with the cleaner. The little pieces of poop or whatever that's on the side, just have that moist paper towel with the cleaner on it and just kind of wipe them off, and they'll fall off into here, into the bag. Just wipe them off into there because they're dried up, so they'll just come right off. Because the outside of this is too rough to really get a good clean, so just knock off the poop and then just wipe down the inside of this and outside there and stuff. And once that's done, you just put 2 paper towels long ways here, one this ways over top of the heat pad, and make sure they're fitted in good and they're not coming up on the sides too much. The one that's here will come up on the sides a little bit, but that's okay. Just make sure they're fitted well, and then you can put the rock hide back on top of this, and then you go back and get him, and you put his once his face is like not right by the door, because you don't want him coming out right when you pull the bottom one off. So when his face isn't by the little door and he's kind of distracted, you want to pull it off and just set that hide back down in there. And that's pretty much all there is to it. And you'll just unplug him, take him back over where he goes, get a water bottle and fill this little cap up a little bit. Don't overflow it, and gently put it back in there. Try not to spill. And then make sure you put his lid back on, and that's all there is to it. And if you have any questions, you can call me and ask me, and I will let you know.